Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be showing you today how to make chocolate cake without using sugar or sweetened cocoa. Now, these are my kids. These are my two bosses officially. So I started my business after he was born because I didn't want to go back to work, and I used to bake with him on my back. And then she came along a bit later. He is fine with sugar, no problems there. She, on the other hand, has sugar and just turns into a different child. She goes a little bit loopy, she cries, the whole lot. But how can I say no cake constantly to her? So it's a bit tricky. So because of her, I started developing recipes that don't include sugar. And also, because the recipes are a little bit sticky, a little bit messy, I just tend to get her involved when it comes to baking it. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to bake without sugar in it and how to make delicious chocolate cake. So they're going to vanish off now, and when we're doing things that are a little bit messier that they can get stuck in, they can come back in. I'm going to be baking chocolate cake now, and here I've got the date paste, 700 grams, which sounds like quite a lot, but because it is all natural sugar, it does not matter. It's not processed sugar at all. So you can see it's quite sticky and tacky. I'm gonna suggest that you have some warm water on the side, and I'll show you what you're looking out for when you're using that warm water. So 700 grams of whatever date paste blend you've made, 50 grams of cacao powder, so not your sweetened cocoa powder, and there's 250 grams of self-raising flour, to which I've added 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, normally you wouldn't do that if you were baking with, sugar, but because this is quite heavy, the flour does need a little bit of help just to, rise in the oven. And then you've got 5 eggs, you've got 2 large tablespoons of vanilla extract, try and use the best if you can, and 250 grams of oil. So you can use olive oil, so whatever other type of oil you've got, 250 grams of. This is the best part in my world. I don't like recipes that's like, add this first, then blend it for a bit, and then 2 hours later add it. Forget all that crap. Add everything together. Try and mix it a little bit by hand till it softens, and then when you feel your blender can take it, or your mixer, you then use your mixer to smoothen it up. That's all you have to do. So I'm just going to throw everything in. Don't worry about making a hollow or beating this and beating that first. No, just pour everything all into one bowl, like so. I'll do the eggs last because I didn't have the foresight to crack it all first. Your oil. And then your eggs. So if you get all the date paste up from the bottom of the bowl, and then it's time to get your hand mixer or whatever else you want to use involved. If you can hear your hand mixer struggling like mine is a little bit, you can always add in a tiny bit of water. Warm water preferably. It doesn't matter if you're going to use cold, but I just find with baked goods, the warm water sort of almost starts the cooking process a little bit for you. And what you're trying to get to is like a heavy dropping consistency. And if, like me, you had no idea what dropping consistency means, it just basically means it's a little bit thicker than just pouring. Like you wouldn't be able to just pour it smoothly from one thing to the other. So there you go. That comes off. That doesn't run off. So it drops. So that's it. That's all ready now to go in the baking tray. I'm using this because I find it a little bit frustrating sometimes when I read these recipes and they say, oh, grease and line 2 8-inch tins. What if I don't have 2 8-inch tins? Does it mean I shouldn't eat cake? So if you don't own the standard 2 8-inch tins, it's not the end of the world. You can still bake. Grease and line your flat baking trays. Pour the cake in there and bake it at 160 degrees for a fan oven. Because Obviously, the texture of your date paste varies from home to home. You should really bake it until your toothpick comes out clean. What I would suggest is to set it for 45 minutes first at 160 degrees and then check it every 10 minutes thereafter. So I'll pour that in there. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Of course you can have some after. So I'll pop this to the side. I'll also show you can also do them in cupcake format. Can you use one? Of course you can. There you go. You have this one. There you go. I'll help you get that off. That's it, and these are good to go in the oven. So these are now out of the oven. Where this has got that much more moisture with the dates, it's taken about 25 minutes, and this has taken about 43. I took my eye off the clock there for a little bit. You will notice that the texture is a little bit uneven because it's got quite a lot of moisture to push up, but that's absolutely fine. With a good bit of decorating, you make it look lovely, and the best part is you haven't got much processed sugar in it. So the kids are desperate to try the cupcake, so I shall let them just get stuck in, and that way I buy myself a bit of peace. And with the flat baked cakes, as I was saying, if you're gonna do like a celebration cake, just get a template. That can be anything. That can be a piece of cardboard that's round. Place it over the cake and just cut all the way down. Cut right around that. And then from the leftover bits and pieces, you can just simply cut out brownie shapes. The texture of this is just like regular cake. You wouldn't get that if you were baking with sweeteners, for example, because that tends to come out dense. So this tastes gorgeous. It tastes just like a chocolate cake, but no processed sugar. It does taste the same, doesn't it? So there's a good trick. If you've enjoyed the chocolate cake recipe, please do let me know. If you've got any questions, pop it along in the comment section and I will check back and answer it. And do check back for some other tips and tricks as well.